Hey guys, it's Nicole Eaton with the Rock Your Soul book and podcast, where we talk about how to hack your mindset, grow your intuition, and live your best life. You can support this podcast by subscribing, leaving a positive review, and screenshot and sharing on social media. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Rock Your Soul podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Eaton, author of the book Rock Your Soul, the Down to Earth Guide to Mastering Your Mind and Soul Therapist. And I'm so excited today. I attempted to do a live last night with a crazy Mercury retrograde technological issue situation. So this content is just too important to be missed, and I wanted everybody to be able to have access to it and hear it and listen to it over and over again, because today we're going to talk about accessing your intuition in a different way. This is a very specific tool to access your intuition, and it's called automatic writing. Before we get started on automatic writing, I want to tell you guys a couple updates, a couple things that have been going on. One of them being that because it's Mercury retrograde and maybe you're having just a time, I wanted to gift you with $111 off my latest course, the Comeback course. It is 7 hours of content. It's for anybody who's really looking to just reclaim your power, shrink your past, and manifest your best life. We go through 7 hours of content, 6 video sessions that give you insight into how to balance and understand and maintain your energy, especially if you're an empath, how to cut energetic cords, how to work through forgiveness. It's such a good course for like understanding who you are. So if you're interested, you can go on my website. I will put the link in the bio here and type in the code CCRYS111, and that will get you $111 off. That is likely the lowest it will ever be. So all through retrograde, the next 3 weeks until October 18th. Okay, so I'm talking about automatic writing for the purpose of like connecting with your soul, your higher self, God, angels, universe, whatever you want to connect with, spirit guides, whatever feels called to. But automatic writing is really just like creative writing. It has a lot of people who do creative writing use this way of automatic writing. So it can be spiritual. It can be just to dump and get some energy out. But whatever you're using for it, I swear on this method. Like when I'm feeling stuck, when I'm feeling overwhelmed, when I have a lot on my heart, a lot of times I'll do this before I do any manifesting or manifestation writing, because if I feel like I've got heavy energy on me, I just want to take a moment and release it so that I have space to welcome the new. So that's what I like to use it for. So if you're like, how do I do this, Nicole? What is this? What am I doing? Basically, what this means is that you're going to just set a timer, 5-10 minutes, whatever you have time for, and you are just going to write whatever comes to mind. Every single thing. I don't care if it's like, this is a stupid exercise. I hate this. I'm so bored. Like whatever comes to mind, you're going to honor it and write it down, honor it and write it down. And you're going to spend 5 minutes doing nothing but that, just honoring it and writing it down. As you'll see, when you try this out for the first time, if you're a newbie, you have a lot of mind thoughts that come up. And that's normal. It's normal to have a lot of mind thoughts. And what we're really looking for is that shift between mind thought and receiving of thought. And we can invite our intuition in through that reception of thought. So when we start to dump out and just write whatever comes to mind, we start to create a pathway to connect to our higher selves or to the universe or to our spirit guides or angels or whatever you're cool with connecting with. So that's what automatic writing is. How do we like start that process? So first of all, you're going to want to ask yourself, like, do I do better on a computer or do I do better handwriting? So for me with manifestation writing, I do everything handwritten. I do it in cursive because cursive allows both parts of your brain to work simultaneously. With automatic writing, sometimes my thoughts are faster than I can handwrite. And so I'll have to stop my thought and it doesn't work for me. So I actually really like to open just a brand new blank document, clear everything in the background of my computer, and sit down with a blank Word document for my automatic writing. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to set the intention. So what do you want to receive out of this? If you're just somebody who wants to dump all the information out, setting your intention, inviting God, angels, the universe, spirit guides, whatever you're wanting to connect with, your higher self, whatever you want to connect with, you're going to invite that in. And we're going to set the intention to only receive information that's healing, helpful, and will help you progress forward into your highest self. Those are our intentions. You can set your own intention, but those are the intentions that I set, that we're just receiving energy from God, from angels, from universe, from a higher energy. It's going to help you feel really, really good to channel that energy through your body because it just feels good to be absorbed in the energy of the universe. It just does. But this also just sets the intention to it helps your brain decide what to look for. And what it's looking for is that it can access all the information that's of the light. Like I said, this can be used to dump out or get heavy energy out. So sometimes in the morning, if I wake up feeling kind of heavy or weird or off, this is a really, really good time that I like to automatic write just to move myself out of the way, get access to my intuition. And so I'll just sit with this and just write, man, I'm feeling really heavy on my heart. And, this is what happened yesterday. And so I'm trying to understand that a little bit better. God, angels, universe, help me understand that. And I'll just write that and just see what comes after and just see what thoughts come after. And again, we're not judging it. We're not correcting it for grammar or punctuation. We're just allowing it to flow out of you. And again, this gives you access to flow. It gives you access to just allowing and not judging ourselves. We do that so much. We judge what we think and how we think we need to do it. And I just think that when we have the ability to start the process of just noticing our thoughts, but not creating meaning out of them or judging them, that is some serious shifting that we can do just mindset wise. Cause a lot of times we judge ourselves. Oh, you shouldn't be thinking that, or man, you shouldn't be feeling that, or, that was really awful that you had that feeling. When we access our truth, unconditionally loving it, whatever it is, we give ourselves grace and compassion and we release shame and guilt. Another thing that you might notice while you're doing this exercise is that sometimes when we're doing automatic writing, we will shift from first person talking about ourselves to third person talking about ourselves in a third person. This is normal and okay. This is a really good sign that you've made that shift over into really receiving information from the universe. Sometimes it's really proper sometimes it makes a lot of sense. I was channeling an automatic writing the other day and I shared it on my live and one of my last podcasts that I just received information that your spirit is not awakened by sight alone. And just as a good reminder for me and for the live I was doing that night, that you don't need to see it to believe it. You don't need to see it to know it's on its way and to see it in your experience to know it can happen for you. So yeah, there's some beautiful, beautiful, deep insights and that can come from this. And that may not occur for you on the first time. It may take some practice for you to be able to really truly let yourself go. We access intuition and we access spirit when we're relaxed anyway, when we're on autopilot, when we're just going, when we're just driving or showering. This is when we're most intuitive because our brain frequency drops into the state of being receptive. So that's really all we're trying to do here, is trying to create a flow of just honoring what shows up without judging it and allowing ourselves to invite that in. So you can ask questions if you've got a situation at hand. What's the best and highest way for me to handle this? And just write that at the top of your paper and then write whatever. You don't have to solve it. You don't have to come up with a solution. But when we pose the question, we often see answers. And don't get frustrated if you don't. Again, this is practice. We are practicing being the observer of our mind. We are practice honoring the process of our thoughts. And that's not how we typically do things. We typically get caught in them. We typically get looped in them. We typically get controlled by them. A couple ways to improve automatic writing is to listen to music, specifically binaural beats. So binaural beats are a frequency that you can go on YouTube and type in binaural beats for whatever, for love, for spirituality, for connecting with your intuition, for happiness, for joy, for serotonin boost. You can go in, and what this will do is your brain is firing at a certain frequency. And so when we input the binaural beats, it helps our brain match that frequency, because we do have mirror neurons and our brain tends to match what we're inputting. So when we input binaural beats, we actually can open ourselves up even more. So I actually listen to them all the time. Every morning I listen to a different one. I'm super hooked on an Archangel Metatron one right now, but you can find one that resonates with you, one that like the sound feels good to you. Just explore that. That's a huge way to improve your automatic writing. Another way is through crystals. So if you're a crystals person, this is a really, really good time to get some crystal quartz, some amethyst. Herkimer diamond is one of my favorites to just amplify your intuition and to clear the space around you. I also like to often run a Palo Santo stick over. So that's a clearing agent like sage. It's a tinier stick. I think it smells way better than sage, and I like it. I like it for clearing my personal energy. I like sage for clearing the house, but I do like Palo Santo for clearing my personal energy. That feels really good to me. And you can also meditate beforehand. The more you can kind of clear out some of those thoughts or calm them down, the better of luck you might have at really seeing that switch over into that third person point of view, or feeling like you're really connecting with that higher self or higher power. So I think again that this creates just a pathway of mindfulness anyway. I was rereading a book called The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. One of my favorites. It's such a powerful book, such a powerful read. I think you would really, really like it if you read it. It's a little deep. One of the things that Michael Singer talks about in The Untethered Soul is that there's a part of you that speaks and a part of you that listens. There is a part of you that if you say hello in your head right now, there's a part of you that speaks, and then there's a part of you that hears it. It's the observer. So our soul is the observer, and our mind is this programmed part that reiterates the same thoughts and the same feelings over and over again. So when we can become the observer, then we learn to not take things personally. So I think automatic writing is such a beautiful way to learn this behavior of not feeding into your thoughts, to be mindful of what they are, write them as they come, and I'll invite the angels and universe in so that we're not attaching to them. Because when we can remain disconnected from our thoughts, we're in a world of power, in a world of creation. When we dive into them, we often create momentum around the negative ones, and then we kind of end up feeling like crap. So just something to be thinking about is, how do we learn to become the listener of our thoughts rather than the person who's feeding them. And when we can connect with the mindfulness and we can connect with our intuition, we're just happier when we're present in the moment and we're mindful of our thoughts, and not, when you can come back and say, I've been thinking this and I'm not getting caught up in it. That allows you to be more deeply in the present moment. And I just think that's a huge, huge, huge change. You are just built for happiness when you can find the present moment, when you can be all in and not on your phone or not thinking about something that happened. But it just gives your brain such powerful control over your thoughts when you start to do automatic writing more consistently. So I think it's such a beautiful way to access creativity if you're working on something. Even when you brainstorm, that's a variation of automatic writing, because you're just saying, anything that comes to mind, I'm just going to write it down. Just going to, no bad ideas, anything that comes to mind. So it's really about giving yourself permission to honor whatever shows up. There's some really interesting things that I have discovered about myself, or about things that happened when I was younger, that maybe I had bypassed at some point, and that I didn't realize were, something that was coming up for me, or something that I was needing to work through. So I think there can be so much healing in automatic writing, and we can see our patterns better, and we can see our truths better, and we can have those aha moments, because when we are thinking about things, when we're in a thought, we are working really actively from a limited perceptual view, from what already is and already has been and what we already know. And when we open up to the universe, we really access that information from a space of openness, from a space of possibility. And the universe has all the possibilities, and it's our job just to tap into them and to find them. So yeah, I think this can be a really incredible tool to add to your repertoire. And yeah, so make sure you guys subscribe to everything. Subscribe to this podcast. I'm officially working on YouTube, so I will have a video up every week on YouTube, at least once a week. I just want to be supporting you through this fall season, through this season of your life. So again, make sure you grab that discounted version of my course, the comeback course, with the code CCRYS111. I'm really grateful for you guys. I'm always so excited to jump on here, and I hope it's helpful. I've been receiving so many wonderful DMs, and I just can't thank you enough. So make sure you're following me on NicholeEaton.xo on Instagram and TikTok. And if you want to join the group, I love the lives. I love answering questions, and I'm so grateful for you all. I hope you have a great week. Thank you so much for listening to the Rock Your Soul book and podcast. Take a moment to book a one-on-one session with me, or purchase my trainings at NicholeEaton.com. Join the Rock Your Soul Facebook group, or follow me on Instagram at NicholeEaton.xo. And if you loved this podcast, don't forget to share it. Thank you.